All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's just jump right into it. Coach Prime and the CU Buffaloes defeat Nebraska 36-14. We were looking forward to seeing, how much CU capitalized off this matchup. I'm watching a little bit of film of Nebraska prior to the game Saturday. You could see that it was definitely a game CU was supposed to win. The question was, how would they win? Slow start, kind of struggling offensively with CU, trying to find the lanes against that Nebraska defense. But nonetheless, CU's defense held the fort until the offense could figure it out. They did a good job. The defense looked really good. Now, again, it was Nebraska. But again, you're supposed to look good when you're supposed to look good. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to my final point. But the defense really did good. The defensive line really played well against the Nebraska front. They pretty much just manhandled them, bullied them. But I will say this, Nebraska only had one one soldier up front. They only had one grown man, one big boy. You know what I'm saying? Number 66. Number 66 was the only one on the line that you could respect. Everybody else, you just run over or move out the way. You know what I'm saying? If you're that CU Buffalo's defensive line, and they did that. Linebackers played well. Secondary, of course, as you see from some of these highlights, interceptions, sacks. I mean, the defense played well, again, when they're supposed to. You're supposed to look good against Nebraska this year. You know what I'm saying? The offense finally get going. Running the ball was a little tough. Not that, Nebraska was in depth at stopping the run, but it just seems like up front, our line just really aren't mad dogs, when it comes to having that mentality to position guys and push guys for the run game. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing a good job of that as of yet. Now, I'm pretty sure it's something they'll continuously work on, and hopefully they'll get better. Now, they did end up getting some good runs, you know what I'm saying? But just running the ball consistently. I definitely still think that CU should incorporate some zone blocking scheme up front in the run game. You know what I'm saying? Create holes, move them. They have some running backs who can utilize that scheme well. The RPO run scheme is, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? But you might have also some success and more success utilizing some of that zone block, you know what I'm saying? Just to get your guys in some spaces and let them do what they do, I don't know, but that's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Just implement, don't change it to that or nothing. Just implement a little bit of it. That's what I want to see from the CU Buffaloes. Just incorporate everything that you can to utilize the talent that you have, the backs that they have, and that offensive line might do better in some zone blocking, you know what I'm saying? Just mix it in, you know what I'm saying? That's all. We'll see, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, there was problems with protection earlier in the game. Protecting Shador. Shador was taking some sacks. And Shador did a good job of not forcing the ball, throwing the ball to Nebraska, things like that. He just took the sacks, ran out of bounds, threw the ball, whatever, you know what I'm saying, when needed. Kind of like, just symbolizing, hey, we're going to figure it out. The offensive line going to get it together. Don't trip. And they did. They did. Protection was figured out. And Shador, did what Shador does. You know what I'm saying? The equalizer, made some really good throws. Found a lot of his guys again. Travis Hunter, you know what I'm saying? I think it's Tavares Tavares Dawson, he played great. My goodness, I don't even remember seeing him against TCU, and he showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? I thought Hankerson, running back, you know what I'm saying, one of the holdovers from the roster turnover. One of the guys who will say is definitely good enough to stay under Coach Prime. And as far as work ethic, and I mean, he obviously has what it takes, and I thought he played well. You know, once they kind of started getting a couple yards here and there at that running game, I thought Hankerson running the ball looked really good. You know what I'm saying? Silman Craig on the defense, you know what I'm saying? Making plays just like he did at Jackson State with Coach Prime. In Boulder making plays. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys can play. You know, these guys can play. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about it is they're showing, you know, you didn't see a lot of flags, penalties. So they're showing some good discipline. For all the talk you get, you know, about Coach Prime, how he runs his program, the guys are disciplined, man. They're not out here, you know, carrying on, acting crazy, getting penalties left and right, unsportsmanlike left and right, you know, targeting, throwing out the games. You're not seeing that. You know what I'm saying? Deion should get a lot of credit for that. A lot of credit. You know what I'm saying? He deserves an abundance of credit for just that, how he's running this program, how he's coaching and mentoring each and every one of these kids. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know, when you look at the way, you know, Shador got going and you look at his final numbers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, is it going to be like this every week? You know what I'm saying? Because again, next game is CSU. You know what I'm saying? That should be another victory. Scouting Oregon, you know, when I watched Oregon, Oregon looked beatable. And I don't mean just by, you know, any standards. I mean, Oregon looked like they could lose to CU. You know what I'm saying? Alabama losing to Texas. You know, Alabama's not the same Alabama. You know what I mean? You know, where CU might have a disadvantage up front as far as size, we have an advantage as far as team speed. You know what I'm saying? And we can utilize that in a lot of instances. Now for, you know, in a lot of ways, you need to be big, you need to be strong, you need to be able to push and not get pushed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that does matter. That matters a lot. You know, so we'll see how that how much that matters against Oregon. That'll be one of the first really good tests. Now, that TCU game was a great test as well. First game, you know, see how they respond against unranked Nebraska. You know, and that takes me to what I said earlier. What I was alluding to earlier. I don't think Nebraska should have scored. You know, and that's no disrespect to the Cornhuskers. I just don't think they should have scored. They shouldn't have scored. Now, I understand, you know, hey, one play was where the defense was just completely set up in the wrong set for this particular moment. The quarterback, I believe his name is Sims, Nebraska's quarterback, recognized that immediately. Now, I give him credit for that, for as much as they talked about, you know, his issues and what he needs to work on and him not handling the snaps. You know what I'm saying? He did recognize that immediately. As soon as he saw CU in that defense, as soon as he saw that linebacker run over there with the receiver out of position and get himself out of position, he immediately knew what he wanted to do. Hurry up and called for the hike. Center snapped the ball, and he took off immediately. Gone. Touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So that was one. And then obviously, you know, Coach Prime is a legend, you know what I'm saying? He knows the game far better than I. Far better than I. Just me, just having some experience as a coach, coaching multiple sports. I probably wouldn't have put the subs in. You know what I'm saying? When Coach Prime did. And for me, it's not nothing against the guys getting on the field. You know what I'm saying? I started out coaching in the YMCA, so I have no problem. You know what I'm saying? Putting subs in. You know what I'm saying? I'm acclimated to that. But knowing how college football is and understanding what we're trying to do, and maybe it was calculated. Maybe Coach Prime didn't want his starters to score anymore and get themselves moved up any further in the rankings than they need to be right now. I don't, do I believe that? No. You know what I'm saying? I just think he wanted to get the guys some field time, because these two games are probably some of the only two games that they're going to be able to get out there on the field. And by two games, I mean Nebraska and Colorado State coming up. But after that, a lot of those guys might not see the field. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. I thought about that, and I acknowledge that. Just for me, for me, I wouldn't have, I'd have just went ahead and let it ride out straight up. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the scores that Nebraska had also, was when the subs came in. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? We would have had, for me, we need to crack 40. We need to crack 40. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot on the line. It's college football season. We need, you know what I'm saying? And how things are calculated. That just would have been how I got down. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Nebraska did score those 2 times, which I feel they shouldn't have. I think they'll take that lesson in there to CSU, another rivalry game. Now, one thing, Dion, no matter what the motivations are, obviously there was again another week of some motivations on the side as far as remarks made by Nebraska's coach. But one thing I know about Dion, no matter what, what type of energy or what issues you have on the other side, and we've seen Dion have issues with other coaches on the other side as well, at Jackson State. But one thing he's not going to do is not allow that to, change how he approaches the game with respect. He's not going to run up the score on anybody, or he doesn't want the perception of running up the score. That's something Dion's not going to do. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. I understand that. That's fine. I got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? And my job is to build this team to its pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? And one of the ways that we're going to do that is we're going to get out here and we're going to play to the last second. Period. Now, if it's drastic, if it's 56-3, yeah, I'm bringing the subs in straight up. But 36-0, nah, I'm sorry, that's not good. Nah, I'm good. Or 36-7, nah, I'm good. Y'all keep on, man. We ain't there yet. Keep on. So that's something I just took from this game versus Nebraska. Great effort. You know what I'm saying? I would have kept my foot on the gas, or even kept cruise control locked in. If not, if I wanted to take my foot off the gas, cool. I'm gonna keep cruise control locked in a little bit. I ain't gonna tap the brakes just yet. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. You know what I mean? What happens versus Nebraska? Against CSU. If the team gets rolling, is Dion going to tap the brakes, or is he going to let cruise control ride out? Until they get to the destination. You know what I'm saying? And then you go ahead and tap the brakes right at the end if you need to, you know. That's that's what I want to see from the CU Buffaloes as they, you know, continue to get better. Remember now, again, this was game 2 of a team that was put together this year. Now remember, just to draw a quick correlation, the Portland Trailblazers said that they were going to put together a team around Dame in a year, and weren't able to do it at all in multiple years. They gave themselves a year, wasn't able to do it. They had multiple years, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Coach Prime came in. You know what I'm saying? And completely turned over a college roster. Over 85 players. Over 85 players. Turnover. You know what I'm saying? Out, new ones in. And top recruits are already taking notice. Top recruits are already taking notice because guess what? Dion got commercials everywhere. So his team will be everywhere. His players will be everywhere. Top recruits are taking notice. That's what these other college guys are afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. Coach Prime taking over in that manner. That's what they're afraid of. You know what I'm saying? Coach Prime taking over. All the top recruits wanting to play in that atmosphere. Those NIL deals being top tier. You know, I mean, there's just too many pros. You know, it's just too many pros versus cons. It's just too many pros. You know what I'm saying? Dion will have the advantage, which is why I picked the CU Buffaloes to win the national title next year. Next year. Now, they're ranked number 18 now. But I picked them to win the national title next season. You know what I'm saying? Now, it wouldn't shock me if they won this season. I don't think this is a championship team right now. Do they have a couple championship players? Yes, indeed. But I don't believe this is a championship team right now. But I believe next year it will definitely be a national championship contending and maybe winning team in the Colorado Buffaloes. You know what I'm saying? So comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. If you think that's a possibility, you think I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? I could be, but nah, I think next season, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they only gonna lose like 3 games, if that. They might only lose 2 this year. If that, they might only lose 1. If that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got to get the running game together. They got to get the run defense together. You know what I'm saying? They got to utilize their speed and agility on the lines because they're not going to win a lot of straight up strength confrontations. You know what I'm saying? With some of these big 6'8", 390 pound, 340 pound Goliaths that are out here. Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Ohio State. I mean, these guys, Florida State, they got some Goliaths out there on the front line. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's all we're missing. That's all we're missing. That's it. That's all we're missing. You know what I mean? Is them Goliaths on the O-line and them monsters on the D-line. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? What you think is going to happen, Colorado versus CSU. Who do you think in college football right now would be a problem for CU? You know what I'm saying? Would beat them easily. You know, let me know in the comments. So I thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. If this world